Okay, we have a question. Mr. Odepal, I think you know this one pretty well. What's the percentage of the student body is in the IB program?
Ooh, good question. It's growing. We're excited about that. So we're going to have, let's see, a couple of real highlights for me in the last couple of years. We had 10% of our students enrolled in AVID. We had over 50% of our 9th through 12th involved with some sort of IB or honors program, and then a third of our students that were enrolled in the IB labeled courses on their transcripts. So again, I'll say that again. Juniors and seniors, we had about a third of them involved with the International Baccalaureate, at least in one course with a subsequent exam. About more than half of our students enrolled in an honors type program. And then we had just about 10% in AVID. So those numbers are growing, and we know with adding programs like the health occupations and mechatronics, we know those numbers are going to continue to grow. So that is exciting. And I mentioned this before, but some people got here late. We are in a remodel, and we're going to have brand new state-of-the-art labs in biology, in chemistry, and mechatronics. And in a brand new ceramics studio for our IB pottery, a new TV station, essentially. CRTV's got a brand new look. As well as a new stadium to cheer our teams on as well outside. So we got a lot of great things going on here.
I'm going to add, I put in the chat the link to our Columbia River curriculum guide. It's actually the 2020 curriculum guide, so it's the curriculum guide for this current year. If people have questions about individual classes, that's a great resource to get some information about what a particular class entails. It has a description on that, and that's available also on the Columbia River website. So that's a good way to kind of get some information about individual classes. Let's see. I'm looking here. Julie, there's a question about, does passing exams equate to specific grades that impact a college GPA?
No, no. If a student earns credit, they earn credit for that course or that course at the college. For example, many students will take our IB English course, and it will relate into an English 101 course at college. Because the student did not take a class there at the college, they are not given a grade, and therefore it does not affect their GPA. They are just granted credits toward their college requirements. And for some students, that allows them to take courses in college in different levels or different subjects where they want to see what they're interested in. It might be part of their major, it might not, but it does not equate to a GPA score at college level.
Okay, we had a couple different people ask sort of about the same question related to what's the main reason why students who stop the program decide not to continue on the IB course?
With my experience, students will start the diploma program their junior year, and during the course of, like the first year, either their interests change and they're not interested in completing all 6 subjects. It was I don't want to say it was that courses were too difficult. What they were maybe a student started to look at college, and the college did not, how do I want to say this, did not or would not accept the IB diploma courses for any college credit, or the student just decided that they weren't interested in a rigorous level history course, but maybe they wanted to stay in some of the math and science classes. When students become juniors, it's clear that they become a math science type student, or maybe they become a more history English type student. And so their interest in those rigorous courses at that level may change depending on what kind of student they become. And so it's an individual choice. And that, with my experience, that's what happens when they decide to drop the diploma program and just become a course candidate.
Yeah, my observation and experience in working with students over the last couple of years has been that interests change, pathways change, people, and that's why we're really excited to have bring Morgan on board this second year. We've had her with us, and we've changed the focus of our career center to the Pathways Center, where it's a lot to ask a 15 or 16-year-old student what they want to do with the rest of their education experience. And so the interests change, and that's perfectly fine. We're seeing that a lot in the world of work. And I know Morgan can give us a lot more information on that, but very briefly, students, what I see sometimes is move from IB to Running Start with the idea that the college credits are going to be similar. And my observation, just from sitting in classrooms with our students, is that's a very different level of preparation for university. The International Baccalaureate versus Clark College is totally different level of preparation for university. I can say that one more time, but I won't. There is it's a change of interest oftentimes. You know, students have opportunities to travel with athletics, or they have opportunities to, their time is a finite resource. And so if their time is going to be in a 0 period or 7th period where they want to pursue, like I said, athletics. We've had swimmers go on to Notre Dame. We've had students go on and play soccer, I mentioned earlier. And they have a finite amount of time in a day. So it's just a matter of changing interests. And there's never any shame or blame on that. I just want to be clear on that, because I think it's not a perception of they don't value their education more or less. We just want to make sure that we're informing people of the opportunities that they have, and making sure that you have all the information before you make too many decisions.
Okay, there's been a couple of questions that have come up about the Mandarin Immersion program and our school, and then also how or does that connect with the IB diploma program? And can you do one without the other? Can you do both?
Yes and yes. We have students here attending just specifically for the Mandarin Immersion program, and they are accessing some of our honors level courses in 9th and 10th grade, or even some of our IB classes in junior, senior year. Students can do the IB Immersion program with the IB, the Spanish Immersion with the IB, where we are offering students an opportunity starting their senior year next year. So it would be the class of 2022. Students can complete the diploma program with their Spanish, IB Spanish as part of their IB diploma. And so class of 2022 will hold the first graduates of the Spanish Immersion program, which started back in kindergarten years ago. And so, yeah.
And is that Julie, is that the same for the Chinese Mandarin Immersion as well?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all
I was
right.
talking Spanish. We're
That's
talking
okay.
Mandarin. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that was about the Mandarin. My mistake.
No
We
problem.
don't have the Spanish immersion here. So it's all the Mandarin. So yes, sorry about that.
So to sum up, the answer is yes and yes.
Yes.
A student can participate in the full diploma with the Mandarin as their choice of language, and they can participate as a course candidate. We love the Mandarin program. It's we're housing it now for the district, and so that brings us a different one more language. And there's a really nice piece in that YouTube video from our world language teachers. It's a really, really strong world language department here at River. We're very fortunate to have such an amazing group. And there are opportunities. We're looking at opportunities for those groups to travel and that kind of thing. And more on that down the road.
A question that's come up a couple times recently, talking about is there a set number of students, freshmen incoming, that are accepted? How many students are accepted in the program?
So typically we're looking for a ninth grade class of 325 or so. That's typically where we hit our sweet spot with terms of space on campus, where we have enough room for everybody. We are under construction, but that's the number we're looking for, 325. It'll depend on how many students apply to the program. And we also have our out of district students that will be applying. We'll be looking at those applications as well. So we serve our Vancouver students first, and then look at those out of district applications. And that timeline is listed for you in a variety of places. I'll let Julie speak. There's typically just over 100 students in the ninth grade that participate in what will be our honors ninth grade.
Right, that is correct. Typically, we accept around 100 students into the IB program. It could be more some years, it could be less some years, but we try to get as many students into the program as we possibly can. And if the students in our boundary fill up those numbers first, then we have to accept fewer into the IB program. If we don't have as many that already live in our boundaries, then we can accept more. So it hovers around 100.
Yeah.
I do want to stop for a minute. There was a message that came to me in the chat, and it talks about the Spanish immersion, the student coming from Spanish immersion. They are asking if they have to take a third language or something different. No. So all of that information about when I said Spanish immersion, I meant Mandarin immersion. We have the Mandarin immersion program here where you can do the Mandarin immersion and you don't have to do IB, or you could do both. And the Mandarin will be included in our IB program. We already have IB French, IB German, and IB Spanish. And so it's not an immersion program, but those other three are also included in our IB coursework. So students could take IB Spanish as a junior or a senior, or IB French or IB German, as well as the IB Mandarin.
We'll be flexible. We're excited about the opportunity to have students with those linguistic skills, and we know that carries over into different areas. And so, the Ab Initio is the exam set that we'll participate in, and we'll worry about that not tonight, but at a later time.